All right, so we are live right here on Facebook. Listen, as you all are coming in, I know y'all already got me earlier today. I get it. I understand what's happening here, okay? But today we have a special pop up. I wanted to give you guys a precursor to what you'll get come January 23rd. I have the honor and the privilege of speaking to the one who is the one with all the information who gonna get us the house, okay? Who's gonna talk to us about ownership. Listen, Shakeima is not just a great realtor or she's not great just in real estate. I personally just love everything about her, especially her story, especially her story. So I'm just gonna add you in, and here we
Hey,
go.
hey,
Hey girl.
hey, Miss Dia. How are you?
I am amazing. Listen, as you all are coming in, don't forget to share. Actually, I want you guys to share this with, y'all already know the role. I just was on here this morning. Share this with your accountability partner. If you do not already
Yes.
own your home, share this with someone who doesn't own, okay? Share this with a renter, share this with a friend. We are just here to encourage and
And if you
empower.
own, and even if you own, I still
Ooh,
want you to share because you can be a part of
oh yeah.
someone else's movement.
I love it. Even if you own, come on in the room, okay?
Yes.
This is still for you. And I really just wanted, again, to give you guys a precursor to January 23rd. We're doing the Power Push Live, and this actually is our guest of the hour. Wait a second. I got some sound effects. Is it gonna work?
I love
Yes.
it.
So we have our special guest in here, and I'm just excited to have you on. I met you years ago. You're just this amazing, beautiful soul with this great energy. And then I saw you at the event with Kenya Dunn, and you were talking, you were giving us like your backstory, and you're just amazing. So I literally cannot
Oh,
wait to sit side by side with you on this platform just to kind of run through your life, right? But today, you've been on fire. Somebody make some noise in the chat for Shakeima and the Chatman group. Listen, they are on fire. And so we're going to start out. We're going to talk about the three myths about ownership. Somebody said it the other day. They was
perfect.
just like, I just love how she breaks down ownership. So we're going to let you do that. But even before that, I want you to talk about this new project. We are talking about Impact 100 coming in hot
Oh,
in 2022.
yes. So our team and I, we in October we stopped and did a mini retreat. We went out to the Isle of Palm, rented a condo. Water is healing for me. I don't know about you, but
Mm-hmm.
we just started mapping out our 2022 year back in October, and I challenged the team that we were going to have 100 sales in 2022. Now that's a big number for
Mm-hmm.
the three of us because there's only three of us. It's a big
Right.
number for us to hit. But we wanted to ensure because last year was a little rough in the market. We had a great year, but it was hard for home buyers because the market is so competitive right now. In addition to coming up with down payments,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they have to cover additional costs, their own closing costs. And so we said, hey, we don't want to just sell 100 homes and, selfishly, have that gain for ourselves. So what we've decided to do as a team, every time we sell a house, we're going to put $250 aside. And so if you're good at math, with 100 sales, that gives us $25,000. So that's
Wow.
going to allow us to give $5,000 grants to someone buying a home. So how amazing is that just to have that extra push? And the reason we want to do that is because sadly, home ownership is diminishing in the African American community. So we kind of want to
Wow.
help. We got to get those numbers up.
What do
We
you
got to
mean
get those numbers up.
diminishing? I thought it was something
Well,
that was
we're
going up.
compared to other demographics, we are the lowest number of we're in the lowest percentage
Wow.
as far as owning homes. I mean, that's with Caucasians, Hispanics, Asians,
Wow.
we're down at the bottom. So we got to work on that.
Wow, wow, wow. So I love this initiative and I'm so in interview mode. Oh my goodness. So what is the typical number? Cuz you said 100 is like a big number. What is the typical number then?
So last year as a team, we sold collectively 7,500 homes. So we got to come up with
7500?
the, yes,
Oh
excuse
wait, I
me,
got to do my sound effect
75.
again. Hold on, hold on. We got to make some noise. Hold on. You know I got sound effects, so we in here.
Collectively, we sold 75. So
I love it.
we gotta get this extra. We gotta one, we have to exceed what we did last
Yeah.
year.
I love that. I love that. I love that. So 100, and so you're going to be helping, just setting aside so that you can help with grants and other things like that. What was this? What was the response? What was the feedback?
Well, we just officially launched this morning. We actually had a few people sign up for our first webinar, so we're excited about that. So that's how you
Love it.
start the process. If you want to qualify for one of our grants, you need to go to our website,
Okay.
100.com, and you can register for our first webinar, which is on January 18th, to get the information and how you proceed in the process for applying the grant. But what I love about this initiative is if you already own a home and you're thinking about selling it, you can help someone else because for every transaction, not just our home buyers, for
Mm-hmm.
every single transaction, we're going to put that 250 aside. So how amazing would it be for you? Maybe this is your starter home
I
that
love
you're
it.
selling that you're going to be giving back to someone else to give them a boost to get into their first home.
I love that. Oh my goodness. How awesome is that? So I'm attempting, for all of you that do not know, I'm working with a new program today, but I'm attempting to put the, let me see if it'll work. Did it work? It
Be
did it!
nice to us, technology folks.
Be nice to us. Be nice. Okay, so let me see. Let me see. Is it in there? Can you see it or no?
I can't see. I only see us. I don't see anything on
Okay.
Facebook.
Well, somebody put it in the chat. You know, we're not even gonna
Yeah,
mess
it's
around with it today.
impact-100.com.
Somebody put it in the chat, impact-100.com. If you want to be, if you want to get a grant, right? To sign up for the grant, you go to
If
impact.
you want to start, sign up for the grant. If
Uh
you
huh.
want to participate in helping us get to our
Yeah.
number, you'll be able to register on our website.
I
We'll
love
show
it.
you how you can do that as well.
I love it. So I'm super excited because in the year of 2022, obviously with my own life and everything that I have been through just in this year, my
Yes.
focus definitely has been on overall helping others. Period.
Mm,
Especially when it comes
mm,
to the parenting realm because that's where I was. That's the story of my life. I've been a parent almost all my life, honestly, since I was a teenager. So I've been a parent for so
mm,
long, and I just want to help others. And so I
mm.
love the fact that you're taking this initiative with this Impact 100. So I am excited to see exactly how that goes, and I definitely want to be a part. So we'll talk offline about
Yes,
how
ma'am.
I can help you with that, right? And
Yes,
so now,
please.
go ahead. I'm
Because
sorry.
it's going to take a village, and it's
Yeah.
interesting. We were on the radio this morning. We didn't even realize that today's Kwanzaa principle is cooperative economics, and that's
Oh,
exactly what this is.
yeah,
We're not sitting here saying we can do this all by ourselves. So we
yeah.
definitely need others to help us cooperate, spread the word, consider working with us so that you can be part of the contributions.
Yeah, I love that so much. Come on, y'all. We cannot do it by ourselves. Somebody type that in.
Exactly.
I won't do it by myself. I do believe
Mm.
that as we move forward, between the end of 2021, definitely in 2022, I feel like collaboration is king. Collaboration is the name of the game. Personally, like I feel like
Mhm.
that's really what it is. Thank you, Stacia. Put it in there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so, one thing that you said a little bit earlier, oh man, it literally just slipped me. Oh yeah. So one thing you said a little bit earlier is that we are behind in ownership. And so what I
Mhm.
wanted to have you on today was to talk about why ownership is important in the first place. I do believe that we don't go after it. First of all, because we don't believe that we can, and second of all, because we just don't think it's that important right now.
Yeah, the combination of both. I think a lot of times from what we hear, it's the fear of the process.
Mm-hmm.
People look at maybe their credit scores,
Yeah.
their bank accounts, and they think that it's impossible. I am a living testimony. Credit scores do not have to stop. I always tell my people, any class I teach, I miss 478 because when I wanted to buy my house after life, divorce, all kind of stuff, my finances were all messed up. But I've been a homeowner over 12 years now.
Awesome.
And I get to sell houses because that's the God we serve. He's not a respecter of persons. So
Yeah.
I think the biggest myth is that you can't overcome your credit scores.
Oh, I
But
love
I
that.
think tag team, though, one thing that's a little frustrating that I see is there's credit repair has become big business. And so there's so many people, all this stuff. No, it's not true.
Mm.
Credit can be restored, but if someone's promising you to give you give them $1,500 to and they're gonna totally wipe your credit clean, run and run quickly. Now, we do have some reputable resources that will help you with restoring your credit because credit can be restored, but be careful of all of these instant gratification things because you didn't mess your credit up
Wow.
overnight.
Right.
And
Right.
it won't get fixed overnight. It can be fixed, but when you see those situations where people are waving the magic wands, that's not true. And sometimes the restoration is just giving you education, understanding that your score may be lower simply because you've maxed out your credit card. Pay that
Mm.
credit card now and gain points. So I think that's one of the biggest myths about home ownership is that, credit is permanent and it cannot be repaired. It can be restored. You can have your credit
Yeah.
restored, but be careful of, people giving you these grand promises of
Yeah.
wiping your credit clean. We're
So there
not
are
doing
no
that over here.
shortcuts.
You got to do the work.
You gotta do
You
the
have to
work.
you got to do the
Somebody
work. You
listen,
got to
type
do
that
the
in the
work.
chat. There are no shortcuts. There are no
Yeah.
shortcuts. Shortcuts will get us every time.
Hmm.
I actually have
Exactly.
been in that situation where I really did pay to like get my credit fixed. I did pay. Listen, that credit took the same amount of time as it probably normally would take. So that was crazy. So that's really, really good. So the very first myth is that you cannot overcome your credit. The fact is you actually can. And
You
so
can.
credit is it won't hold you back. You just fix it and keep moving forward.
And anytime you think you can't, just remember that realtor told me her credit score used to be 478. That's like bottom of the barrel.
Right. I
So
love that. I love that. What is another fear? So I personally would say probably so if one is credit, then the other one will be money. Is that not?
right. And that one is a myth that we do need to address. And if you follow
Ooh,
me on Facebook, I say it in a humorous way. That's just my way of saying it. But you do need some money. Okay.
okay.
I know everyone, and in Charleston, you're gonna laugh because you tease us how we talk. Everyone look for a program. Everyone looking for a
A
program, and there
program?
are programs. Yeah, everyone looking for a program, and there are programs out there.
Right.
But even programs that have maybe 100% financing, sometimes you have to watch the fees associated with that. So
Mm.
sometimes you may, still have, additional funds. There are options, but there are no free rides. And what I mean by that, you have to have some investment in the purchase. So sometimes some of these 100% finances require you to invest a certain amount as far as what we call the earnest deposit.
Uh-huh.
Or sometimes the trade off is that the fees are higher. So you got to weigh all your options. So you do have to have some money. One of the funniest stories I tell is I had someone because we like to do face to face appointments, even if you're not ready today. I think there's something, two things. One, if you take the time to come to my office and sit down and have a
Yeah.
conversation with me, you're serious. And for me, I think it's a level of respect for me to sit across from you and have a one-on-one conversation and help you get there versus me shooting you something quick online. I think
Yeah.
social media sometimes we're not as social and connective. But I had a guy come in because like I said, we hold consultations all the time because we just want to empower people. And he had $80 in the bank. I had to ask him to leave because he's nowhere near ready because
Oh no.
he yeah, you're not if you're in here with $80, you're not ready. I mean, because you can't, and I mean, he wasn't here for a preparation meeting because we do those meetings where we're telling you what you need. He was like, I'm ready to go look at houses today. And I'm like, sir, you only have
Not really.
$80.
Not really,
Yeah,
sir.
like literally, like really, literally. I'm like, no, we're not looking
Not
at houses
exactly
today.
ready.
Exactly, because the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is write an earnest deposit check, and that's already between $500 and $5,000, depending on what you're buying.
Right.
You can't pay for a home inspection. That's going to be
Mm,
another 300. So you do have to have some money. Now, if
gotcha.
you come to one of our workshops, we can tell you exactly what you need to look for and what to
Right.
prepare for, but you do need some money.
I
There are
love
no
that.
free rides.
There are no free rides. Somebody typed that in. It will not be free. It will not be free. You,
It won't
first
be
of all, your
free.
content is so
Everything has a
hilarious
cost.
because you be schooling us, but it really do. It be a little bit in your face. It be very funny, but
It
you
be a
really
little,
do be
it's a
schooling
little
us.
petty, but I always say I'm direct, but my heart is good.
Your heart is pure. The
Because
heart
I
is
feel
pure.
like sometimes I say stuff over and over again. And sometimes when your mama say it to you in a certain way, that's kind of
Right. Wait, are you still there? Are you still there? Can you guys still hear Shakima?
oh.
Or can you see her? Oh man, I think she left out. So I'll add her back in there. But that was really good so far. So we just want to address the myths. We want to make sure that we're going into 2022 prepared and ready for God, what God has for us. And some of us we just don't have it because we just don't know just yet. And so here you go. You good? You back? We back.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah.
Wait. I
See,
got. Let me do my sound.
every
Let
time
me do
me
my
and you
sound.
talk, the enemy always try to jump in.
I gotta get some better sound effects, but I'm excited about this. So
I
this
think
is
you like just
good.
pushing that button.
And the point of all of this, again, for those who are watching, is just to make sure that we hit the ground running. I think that a big issue is that everybody has like these bright ideas and we want these things. First of all, we don't have full information, and second of all, we go and do it right at the moment of doing it. There is zero preparation.
Mm,
And so of course we're only a couple days before the new year, but no matter what, the time is right now. And so it's not too late for you to get the information that you need to properly prepare so that we can bring that number up in
yes.
2022. All
And
right,
not
so
only prepare,
go ahead.
start planting the seed. This quote is like going to
Yeah,
be my guiding principle for
yeah,
one of my guiding principles for 2022 is that you got to start planting the seeds. And remember, you don't eat the fruit the same day you plant the seed. So just keep working on it. I'm
yeah,
telling you, we have testimonies of some people who have just been diligent in their process. Some people it took a year or two. Some
yeah,
people they were diligent. It took 3 months, 6 months,
yeah,
but you just have to be diligent and realize that you're working towards something. It's just
yeah.
not going to be that instant gratification.
That's so good. So good. Priscilla said, this is so needed. Thank you, ladies. Home ownership is very empowering. And that is what I'm committed to. And you said it earlier about just building that village. I'm just really focused
Mhm.
on building the village and the community that we need to literally kind of get us back like on track because I feel like a lot of people are waking up. So one myth you said is that you cannot overcome fear. The second, I mean, you cannot overcome your credit score. That's one of the myths. That's not true. Yes, you can. The second myth is
Yeah,
that you can get it for free. Absolutely not. You're not exactly ready. You're just ready to get some more information
right. And
to
because
get it
you are
going.
going to need so many, and
Right.
think about it. You have to pay something to move into an apartment.
Right.
So just know you're gonna have funds, and we can tell you what those funds are. That's why we like for people to start
And
preparing
that was my
so that you
follow
know
up.
what.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what you're saving for. You know
Yeah.
if you need $5,000, $20,000, what do you
Right.
need? And so that's part of that preparation,
Yeah.
getting those goals, because if you're just running up and down the track, you're never going to accomplish anything. Someone said not having like numbers around your goal is like
Yeah.
running on a football field without an end zone.
Yeah.
You're running towards something, and so you have to know what you're running towards.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And as I'm on the journey myself, that is so awesome. So when would you say someone should talk to you? Like when should they talk to you, or how when okay, when is the moment where we're just gathering information, and when is the moment that we come to you and get more detailed information? Do you know what I mean? So like
When you make
if
the
my score
decision
is 478, do I come to you now or do I work on my score? Do you know what
Yes,
I
you
mean?
do. You do. You do, so that we can get you connected with the reputable resources. And
Okay.
we have some great partnerships with us with this Impact 100. They have the exact mindset that we have. And that mindset is we want to teach you how to fish. A lot of these,
Yeah.
fly by night, I'm going to just wipe everything clean. They're just giving you fish. We want to teach you
Mm,
about your credit,
yeah.
help you restore it so that you can keep it there,
Yeah.
so you can retain
And
it.
know how.
So yes, and know how, and come now. If you come with the 478, come like I did humbly, where I'm like, look, I know I messed up. I
Humble.
need to get this fixed. But don't come where we're helping you and you're mad at us because it didn't happen in 2 months or didn't
Ooh.
happen in a week.
Yeah.
It's going to take time. You did not destroy your credit overnight. It's not going to, happen overnight. And don't feel shame. Life happens to all of us. And as my grandmother said, if it hasn't yet lived long enough, it will happen.
Yeah.
For me, going through divorce, I was totally depressed. Didn't care anything about finance, pay bills. Psh, I'm not thinking about bills. I just want to feel better. And
Right.
so don't, judgment free zone. Come to us as you are, but be willing to humble yourself and be willing to do the work.
I love that. Be willing to do the work.
So as
Somebody
soon as
type
you
in
make the
do the
decision,
work.
yeah, as soon as you make the decision that you're ready to buy and your why is big enough, because that's part of what I like to
Ooh.
ask. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this just to get the post on Facebook? Or are you doing this
Ooh.
because you want to create generational wealth for your family? Are
Yeah.
you doing this because you need to provide a place for your mom who is ill? Those are some of the whys that we have. Are you doing
Yeah.
this because you want to have your kids in a better school system? Those are the things that are going to, and the reason I ask that, because sometimes the road is not easy. And so when the road gets tough, I'm going to point you back to why you're doing this so
Yeah.
that you can remember your why has to be big enough so that you can reach the finish line.
I love that. That is so good. Somebody just type it in one more time. Put in the work. Put in the
Put in the
work.
work and keep and remember your
I
why,
was gonna say
because
that,
that's
and
going to
remember
happen.
your why. Your
Remember
why
your why.
matters.
Yes,
That is so
it
big.
does.
That is so
And it
big.
should matter not just for you, for generations.
Right.
One of the reasons why I feel God led me to this is because my own family story, my grandmother who passed away in 2014, loved her to death. Everybody wants to be at grandma's house, right?
Right.
Holidays, we're there.
Right.
Summers, I spent all my summers here in Charleston. My family was in Virginia. I would come to Charleston for the summers, but my grandmother's house was like the place, right?
Right.
But what I didn't know is that my grandmother rented her house, Dia, get this, for over 30 years.
Yeah.
Over 30 years. She paid for it, right?
Yeah.
So when her landlord died, the children came in. Of course, my grandmother and her landlord, they made an agreement 30 years ago. She
Right.
was paying like $200 or something in rent. They were still honored that agreement. But when she died, when the landlord died, my grandmother's rent increased to a point she couldn't afford it. And
Wow.
so we had to move her out of her house. So this is the house now where we've had 30 Christmases. And,
Yeah.
that was,
Grew
so
up
I
at.
always said, that's not right. That's not going to happen to my family. And it really
Mm.
started me on this journey of ensuring that I have something to pass down to my
Yeah.
child. And it's biblical. The Bible says that we should leave an inheritance for our
Yeah.
children's children. And so gaining that wealth in the own of home ownership is extremely important.
Mm. And then, so how does home ownership tie in to generational wealth?
Well, one thing that people realize that what some may not realize is that you are investing in something that has an appreciative value. Cars depreciate as soon as we drive them off the lot, but your property has the potential, and I have to say potential because markets, it's like stock, markets go up
Yeah.
and down. But
Hmm.
just to give you an example, I had a couple homers. I've seen it a lot this year. I'll tell you one story of a couple. They came to me with the mindset that they're not going to stay here forever. They were going back to Alabama, but they weren't going to rent during the 3 years that they were in Charleston because they understood the power of ownership. So
Mm-hmm.
they bought their house in 2018. I want to say we bought around 220, somewhere around that. Well, we just sold that house this year for $292,000.
Wow.
So they walked away in 3 years. They
Wow.
made $75,000. Where everyone say, well, they paid the mortgage. Yeah, well, they got all that money back and a little bit
Right.
too
Right.
within the 3 years. So when you move out of your apartment, you may get your earnest
Deposit.
deposit back. I
Yeah.
mean, your
Yeah.
security deposit back,
Yeah.
but that's about it. How many times you walking away moving out with a $75,000 check?
That's
And I
true.
mean, I have countless testimonies of that. I've had some of my sellers this year walk away with six-figure checks.
Wow.
So that's what I mean, building up that equity. Some of them chose to invest in another property. Some have chosen to invest in another property and pay off other debts, invest in other things. So it's this vehicle that can compound
Yep.
when you own versus when you're renting.
Gotcha. I love that so much. I'm so hyped up. Okay. I'm hyped up because this is definitely the lane that I'm in right now. And so, the biggest question before we even get to the last myth, what gave you the audacity to think that you could own?
Um,
Or was there a
I'll
moment
be
where you was like,
honest.
I can't, and then something happened?
It was like a 6 month moment. It was like
Mm,
6 months.
yeah.
I share with you my challenges. So I actually sat in a home ownership class and they pulled my credit and I was all excited because they talked about all the benefits of buying a
Hmm.
house. And then that woman pulled me to the side and she said 478. You know how the Charlie Brown teacher sounded?
Womp 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 womp
Everything,
womp womp
yeah,
womp.
everything after that, all I heard was 478. So I had a pity party for about 6 months. No one came. So I'm like, I probably need to get up and do something. And then it just became taking a bite out of the elephant one bite at a time.
Hmm.
I just started tackling one, two, three things at a time. And before you know it, so I wasted 6 months in pity.
Right.
Took me a year. That's not everyone else's journey. Yours may be faster, but it took me a year to get to where I was. And here's the thing: if I had done absolutely nothing, those 18 months would have passed anyway. But I just
Right.
took the time to work on myself and work on the things. And here, hallelujah, we all believe in God, but God also calls us to be accountable
Oh,
too. And that's what I had to do. I had to be accountable to myself. Hey, this is your fault. You
right.
messed up.
Right.
You have to fix this.
Yeah. I love that. That's so
Mm, mm,
I'm so hyped up. I'm so excited just to
mm.
sit and to get like your full backstory. We got some good time, okay? So you're gonna be able to tell us like your whole story. I
Yeah.
believe that you are a testament. I believe that you're not even because so many people do real estate, but I do feel the genuine when it comes to you. I just feel like you're so genuine and you're really for the people. You're like no, I'm a testament. So if I can do it, you can do it. Let me show you how.
Not only that, Dia, we to whom much is given, much is going to be
Yeah.
required.
Yeah.
And I get a little frustrated sometimes, I'll be honest, in our industry. And you'll see even it's popping up on reality shows, like the shows that are out there. I'm not going to call anything because I'm not hating on
Because I've
anyone,
been
but
watching them. And I'm
Yeah, it disheartens me a little bit because we're missing the mark. And
ooh,
I feel like there is a responsibility because the service we provide is such a high value service, it's such
mm-hmm,
an impactful service
it is.
to come off as, well, I'm just doing this for Gucci shoes or,
Ooh, yeah.
that's
Like
starting
I'm
to
coming
irritate
up,
me.
basically.
Exactly. When I'm sitting in front of a single mom who's
Yeah.
just closing and saved money. So maybe my clientele is a little different. But I just feel like God has called me. He even gave me a whole ministry to teach other agents called Real Estate Agents with Purpose, because there's so much purpose
Yeah.
behind what we do. So what you're seeing from me is, to whom much is given, much is required. And you cannot just take from a community and not
Yeah.
serve
Oh, I
it.
love that.
That's what that is.
Yeah. And I see that because I do see you
Mhm.
do events and everything around your clients. There is this, if it's, it actually, thank you, Lord, for this. It seems like you are literally building a community. Like if they've worked with you, then you got them. Like you're mine now. You're in the family.
Different events. If we don't have it, our clients, they're like, what's going on? So because honestly,
Oh man, she done stepped out again. All right, she'll be right back. But listen, is this not good? Is this not good information? Again, the name of the game is to make sure that we are prepared come next year. And there's some information that we need. There is just simply some information that we need. And we have one of the best in the game to help us with generational wealth. Now, Shakeima, one of the things I did talk about as I am just like digging deep more into my assignment and more into my purpose, I feel like I want to build financial stability, which is why I
mm,
had to talk to you, because I do feel like home ownership is, it really is a mindset. It's more than just money. It's more than all these different things. It's a mindset. Like you have to work on your mind, you have to work on your
mhm,
discipline. And I wanted to make sure, and I'm glad you mentioned a single parent, because I've always been a single parent. I've just always wanted to create something for my sons to see, which is kind of that's my why, period. And now with
mm,
everything happening, it's even more. It's even like it's pressing now, seriously, to like make it happen. Just overall making it happen, and helping others to do the same. And so I wanted you to get to the, what is the third myth? What is another myth that we need to overcome now so that we're ready, when we walk into 2022?
One of the other myths that we see is that we only have to be concerned about credit. One other thing that people have to take into consideration is, are their debts. So
Ooh,
part of the qualification process for a loan, yes, they're going to look at your credit score, and we see a lot of people focus on credit scores,
yeah.
and then they get the high score and they don't qualify, and they don't understand is that
Wow.
they're also going to look at your debts. It's a calculation called debt to income ratio.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, you may have great credit, and because you can get credit cards, but if those cards are maxed out, that can impact you as well. So
Wow.
that's going to be the other debt. The other myth surrounded by debt is how student loans are calculated.
Yeah.
A lot of times we will hear people say, well, I'm in school, I'm not paying my loans. Even though you're not paying them, that is still counted towards your debt. Now, praise the Lord, with the new Biden administration, how much that hits you has been lowered. Initially, they would use like a 1% calculation and count it against your debt. So, just to give an example, let's say you have $100,000 in student loans. That means that $1,000 payment will be attributed to your debt. Now, we all know not too many people are going to be writing the student loan people $1,000.
Listen,
So,
I got
but it still
2250 this
hurts.
month. 2250.
Yeah.
What's the minimum?
So that so that was hurting a lot of people. That's been lowered to 0.5%. So that helps. But what I want everyone to take away from is that
Mm.
not only is your credit is important, but also reducing your debt is important as well. That's and the debts that they look at your car payments, your student loans, your credit cards, that furniture bill, that that consumer loan you took out, all of those things you may
Mm.
need to address before you can qualify.
Wow. That is really big. Thank you so much for that. I needed that
Because a
personally.
lot of
I
people
didn't know
just
that.
focus on, yeah, a lot of people
Yeah.
just focus on credit scores without also you and so not to beat a dead horse, but when you come to the webinars that we'll have starting in January, we'll talk
Yeah.
about all the things you need,
Yeah.
and then we'll help you map out a plan. Okay, this is the part you're missing. Let's help you get this part done.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah,
think that's what people need the ultimate most. So of course we have the mindset, and that's totally needed. And but we definitely need some specifics as to what we're working towards. I think there is this
exactly.
blanket thought like, okay, well, I need to save this amount of money, or okay, I need this specific credit score. But really, there's
Mhm.
more to the story. It's like, okay, so what about this? What about that? What
Yes.
about that? And so there are a couple different areas that need to be attacked. So I'm excited. So when do, as we are wrapping up, when do the webinars begin, and what can we expect in those webinars?
So we will hold them once a month. So if you missed the one coming in January, you still have time, but don't hesitate. Get on it. The first one will be January 18th at 7 o'clock. It'll
Okay.
only be an hour just to get you the information that you need. And then there'll be action steps for you to take to follow up. I'm big on taking action because I truly believe information will inspire you, but it's the action that you take that's going to transfer your life. So we're going to require you to take action. You can sign up for the webinar by going to www.impact-100.com. You'll see a link for webinars. You can choose January or the February, or actually, we have them all laid out there for the entire year. But it's just an hour. You can do it in your pajamas at home. You can do it while you're cooking dinner,
Love
but you'll be able to get the information that you need so that we can then create the action plan for you to get started on home ownership. Also, if you own a home, you're thinking about selling, you can go on our website and register when we make announcements, because if you sell that home with us, you're going to be contributing to another homeowner.
I love it. I love it. Shakeima, you're just so amazing out here
To
in
God
these.
be the glory. You know, we talk sometimes, we be out here walking on water and be like, God, we
Listen,
about to do what? Listen,
right?
God, we about to do
walking walking
what?
water, but I believe that that is where growth comes from. Listen, you
Yes,
don't even know that you can walk on water until you do it. And so that's why
right.
we need these moments. So I'm excited about you. I'm excited about Impact 100. I'm excited about that whole movement, and I'm excited just about everybody that you're going to impact. And so that's
And, and
really
and
what
and I
it's about.
have to say, it's not just me. I have an entire team. So shout out
Yeah.
to my buyer specialist, Danielle Edge and Alicia Brown. I cannot do 100 transactions by myself. I'm not. So those ladies are on board, and that was, for them, what I love about them is their commitment, because I was asking them to give up something.
Yeah.
So if people don't understand, we're giving of our income. Literally, we're giving of our income, and I've asked them to do it, and they were fully on board. Didn't hesitate at all. And
Yeah.
then also our amazing administrative assistant Taylor, who kind of keeps us all
Hi,
together and gives us what
Taylor.
we need.
I love Taylor. Awesome. Yes. Shouts out to the whole girl gang, Black Girl Magic in the building. Wait. Sound effect. Black Girl Magic in the building. So I'm excited. I'm excited about what you all have going on. And I think it's just going to be amazing. Again, I'm excited to have you in January. So at the kickoff of the year, directly after the first webinar. Again, if you want more information, or if you want to get in touch, or you want more information about Impact 100, make sure that you go to www.impact-100.com. So that's impact-100.com. Make sure that you go there, and you'll get information on the webinars. You'll get information on signing up to be a part of the grant. You'll get information on just being a part of this amazing movement. How else can someone get in contact with you?
So another way, if they want to, if they're looking already looking, they can also reach us on our website, the chatmangroupsc.com. That's where they'll find all of our phone numbers, how to register, look at properties, all that good stuff.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for doing this pop-up push with us today. Maybe I'll keep this going. This is really cool, actually.
This
I like
was
this.
fun. This was fun. I'm a little
Yeah.
nervous about January because we're supposed to get deep in this. I'm gonna bring my handkerchiefs because there has been a lot of story behind all this glory.
I
There's a
love
lot of
it.
story.
And I love it. And that's what it is. And we are going to help somebody else know that they're not alone, know that
Yes,
they're not crazy, know that they can
yes.
still do it. If you can do it, then they can do it. And so
Even if
we're
you
just
got to
out
do
here
it broken sometimes,
building
which
them
I
up.
so honor you. I
Yeah.
so honor you. I don't even know how you're doing, even when everything happened. The one thing, my one prayer for you was,
Yeah.
God, don't let her lose her light because you are such a bright light. And
Oh,
so it's so good to see you still shining in the midst of all of everything you're going through.
I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best.
Mm.
I feel like there's more impact to be made. And so
Mhm. So it's
22
even
is
your
double for
whole
the
your
trouble.
glow. Yeah,
Wait, now
I'm just so grateful that you still have your light.
thank you. Now before we leave, I need you to flash those nails. Where's the nail cam? Cause I see them nails just working.
Yes. Okay, I
Come
gotta give a shout
on.
out to Tamara.
They look
Tam
good.
Designs. She is the bomb.
I
She is the
love
bomb
them. They're
diggity. She is the bomb
beautiful.
diggity. Tamara, I'm sorry, I did break one, but
I'm not
which is
representing you
interesting
fully right
because
now.
this is probably I've been going to her for 2 years. I've probably only broken 4 nails in 2 years, and I go to her faithfully.
I love it. They
She
look
is
beautiful.
amazing.
Thank you so much for tuning in. For those who are watching, thank you for tuning in. And thank you so much for being our amazing guest on this very first pop up push. So thank you so
And I
much.
will see you soon in person.
Yes, yes, yes. Listen, guys, if you want more information, remember www.impact-100.com. All right. I love you guys. You guys have an amazing day. Thank you, Shakeima.
Thanks,
I wish I
dear.
had some
Take
theme
care.
music. It's supposed to go doom, doom, doo, doo,
You are so crazy.
doo. I don't know. That was my ending music. So y'all have a
Bye,
great day.
girl.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be great. Remember, we all have the power. We just have to push. Push it till you get it right. Push. Bye, guys.